Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Dendalion. Welcome back to another podcast from BCN, the Bluff City Nerds. Today, I am with Aizawa!
The face didn't disappoint.
Yes, it didn't.
This is every time we record. I make probably this face or a variation of this face every single time.
But it's not just XO Aizawa today. Coming down the Titantron, we have Genji, the man with the plan and the blades, followed by Biddy! Killing us so weird.
Are you choking on the
Stop
name,
sucking
man?
off. I'm gonna be quiet.
That's how you do it. If you're not choking after
I'm sorry. Let's see that hand again.
If you're not choking after it, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't choking after it, you ain't doing it.
Sir.
He spit for those that can't
All
see.
up on the biddy.
Oh,
The sad-
my goodness.
The sad part is, I know people that are going to watch this, and they're going to come at me later, and I'm like, I said it. And we can't forget, also joining us today, the one, the only, the ferocious, foxerocious!
Mr. Ferocious Foxerocious, the frenetic eclectic, coming to you on Dendalion TV. I'm usually a listener, and I enjoy myself. This does not disappoint so far.
Don't
Disappoint me, Dendalion.
No, to future Dendalion, get like an Iron Man landing intro there, just for that.
Yes.
I have no idea why. It just, I can't see him outside of it, more or less. But yes, today, I just smacked my knee. Ow. Fuck. That didn't hurt. I'm just saying stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic in anime is going to be representation. More so just all of media, but I just like saying anime because it's totally cool. It's going to be representation in anime and media. How is it? How is it done? Are you for it? Are you against it? I don't know. We're going to ask this random website real quick. I thought they said Capcom. It's Capco. At Capco.com. Representation allows minorities to feel validated and allows us to express their opinions comfortably. I'm probably rustling some feathers with this, but Jada, you heard that? Y'all should have thought twice before y'all made Cleopatra. All right, so.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
This man going in, boy.
To be fair, like a whole country is trying to sue you, dog. Like,
I'm just waiting for Will to show up. Keep my wife's name.
hey, Will, try something. Let's go. Immortal woman.
I wish y'all would leave Will Smith.
We are.
All right,
He didn't do nothing to nobody.
It's a meme. It's a
He
meme.
deserved it.
Hey, he
It's a
gave me
wrap.
one of the best memes I've ever seen. When he smacked Chris, bro, them rings came out. So I'll give him that. But that was meant to be a joke. Jay, don't hate me. Don't hate me now, y'all. Don't hate me. And Will, I still like you, bro. Don't hate me.
Because we know y'all listening.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
play.
act like y'all ain't. We
I
do.
still bump getting jiggy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah, for real.
Nah.
Wow.
Bro, what you talking about?
Alrighty. So I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna get some opening statements first on kind of to find out where everybody stands on the idea of representation. Aizawa.
Nope, don't start with me. I knew you was gonna do that. Nope.
I will.
Popcorn.
The co-host.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
All
Let's
right.
let the guest speak
She
first.
says
I'm on it.
popcorn and points to the only white boy in the room. I don't know how I feel about
I literally was
representation
just
right
throwing
now.
it to the couch.
saying.
Oh my
You know, what's crazy is there is a black chair next to me. A black folding chair. So,
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Oh my goodness. No. All
I
right.
had to say because it's not often I get to say that's racist.
You're a raucous. That's what you are. Raucous.
Sir, calm yourself.
transform
Oh my
into
God.
Bio Broly.
What in the rabies?
It's
Alrighty.
something.
So Genji, let's start with you. What?
No, let's start with somebody else.
Well, you know what?
Canceled.
I was
Popcorn.
playing Genji Days of the Blade before I got here. So we're gonna start with Genji first.
I don't know if I have a right to speak on representation.
That
I
is
kind of had mine
interesting.
for a minute.
You're a
But no,
minority
interesting
in
place to start.
Right. But real talk though, especially in anime, like or just media in general, it's gotten better for sure, just across every thing. But yeah, we need more. I mean, it's just like we're starting to get down to, you know, now we've got the Yasukes, we've got, of course, Afro Samurai and stuff like that, and you're starting to see more and more representation for people of color and different backgrounds, more and more. So you like to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not enough. We need more.
No, right?
There's way too many diverse cultures out there not to deep delve down into that.
Biddy, we're gonna pass the buck to you.
All right. I agree with Genji. We are in
The dance.
we're doing a lot better just in general with representation in media. Anime, I think, is a whole different beast, but just thinking about media as a whole, we're doing a lot better than we were, say, when I was a little kid. Just thinking about the last Disney Pixar movie I watched, I could just think of some examples off the top of my head of not just representation of like people of color, but differently abled. So, and it's becoming, it feels more natural nowadays. I can see it evolving. So I'm feeling hopeful that we're moving in the right direction.
And Fox.
I think there's too much. No, I'm kidding. But it's been too long. This conversation has been going on for like a decade now. We're finally reaching the point where like they're listening, they're actually doing things about it. But I don't know. I just need some like ramping up, like some escalation or something. I don't know if that needs to be an all black anime or what they need to do. But I don't know, all cultures too, not just black, but just in general. We see it in movies, though. It's happening a lot in movies.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, true. It's happening very much so in movies. Now, Aizawa, are you ready?
Yes, that was the whole point. So we could go around the room
All right.
to get to my turn. But don't start. But I definitely feel like representation is important. The only thing I will say, I don't like that for certain cultures to get representation sometimes, instead of just doing their own thing, they want to hijack somebody else's thing and just add whoever they are, whether it be a person of color, a person of the LGBTQ community, differently abled persons. I don't like that. You know how people get mad when they add like a black character or change somebody to a black character, and it's like they weren't black in the comics. And to some extent, I'm like, I mean, it shouldn't be that big a deal. But also, why not just make your own thing or do something with somebody that is black instead of changing somebody into somebody else?
Yeah.
So
So
all
I feel
that to
like-
say, representation is still important, but stop hijacking other people's shit and just make your own shit, and stop complaining about something that has already been established and make your own shit.
I don't want leftovers.
Right.
That's
No,
my
I
thing.
mean, I think especially piggybacking off that with, we're looking at things in comics, especially nowadays, there's been the whole like black Superman thing. Like, we have Icon.
Yes.
Like,
Thank you.
Can we get Icon, please? There's actually another Elseworld black Superman that has a much more interesting background than OG Superman. So like, can we please like delve into these characters? Like, if you're just like, inclusion is important, but not. I don't think when it is literally just like pandering to the audience just because, hey, look, this character's you now.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Like, if they were to do Wonder Woman, we don't need a black Diana. There's Nubia. Just make a fucking Nubia movie or whatever. So
I myself, at first, I was very against the idea of representation. Now hold up, because I know everybody getting their pitchforks. I know folks, look, y'all can come at me
you
with
know what you finna say.
y'all
Well,
can,
I know
I'm
what you
talking about
finna
the
say.
audience. Y'all finna come
Ryan
at me
Gosling,
with like Ultra
Martin Luther
Instinct,
King.
Gear 5, and
Hello?
Gatsuga Tenshos all day. Nah, I got to wear a fat puku. That ain't finna stop y'all. So let me explain my piece first, then afterwards, I'll be happy to fight with all of you. When I say I was against the idea of representation at first, for me growing up, and as far back as I can remember, I didn't too much care who was on the screen. In fact, it was around the time I started college. That's when I started hearing more people saying, well, I want someone to look more like me. Whereas folks I was growing up with we weren't trying to like beat Goku, bro. We wanted Super Saiyan. We wanted the powers.
Yeah.
I wanted to be. I was the kid that wanted to be right there, like with Goku and them. Like they're shooting the Kamehameha. I'm wanting to be there with them. I'd rather take the abilities and stuff and go my own routes. Actually, a very good example I would like to point out would be when I would see some of the characters in fighting games that I always picked. They were the female characters. And I get it. Everybody's like, I want this person to look like me. I didn't care. I used Ling Xiaoyu because, yeah, I thought she was cute, but man, you know how long I know what combo I got with this
Which game is she from?
Tekken.
Oh.
Yeah, Ling Xiaoyu.
I was gonna say that's why I don't know.
Freaking
I didn't play
like
Tekken.
juggles out the ass. And I'm like, man, she's quick, she's fast. This is what I like about him. Static Shock. Yeah, I could see that he was black, but man had lightning powers, bro. Like,
I just saw him as a cool dude. I was like, man, that's somebody I would hang out with.
and it's like, so growing up and hearing more people scream for representation, I didn't have too much against it. But the reason I was so against it at first is because I felt what they were screaming for was I want someone who looks like me. But to me, that translated as like, you just want to be up there. That's it. You want those powers and abilities. Fox, do you remember when we shot that interview with Jason? Jason, if you're listening, bro, I'm glad your food truck doing good. Want you to know that. We shot the interview with Jason. Afterwards, we sat down and we were having a talk. And he thought it would be better to have like more black people in horror films. And you know, my comeback was I thought they usually were. They're usually cool people, but he's like as the main character. Now the only one that I could think of where there was a black woman as the main character was House on a Haunted Hill. Because I remember it was her and another guy that survived. I may have the gender.
You must be talking about the remake.
Because when I saw this one, it was old. There was like
I think the old one was a remake. The one that we grew up with. You talking about that?
Yeah, the one that we
No, that's a remake.
The OG was a black and white film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I didn't mean the black and white film. I meant the remake one. Yeah, that one I saw like some years ago when I was still a kid. Yeah, so that was the only time I had seen it where a black person had survived. So I was like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with this. It was when he stated at the time that, you know, he wanted someone for his daughter to look up to. Now that's all fine and noble.
In a horror movie?
Well, it was more so
Or just in general?
Just in general.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To look up to.
Like getting hung up on
Like,
the title.
Be like,
if a killer chasing you, this is what the fuck you do, okay?
you square up with Jason Voorhees like
No.
that.
You do not.
Get your head
You
bust
run.
off, boy.
You run and
Julius?
pray he don't find you.
Yeah,
Right.
but,
That's shout out them trilogy.
He tried.
and so the scenario that I did paint for him was, okay, say your daughter sees this character and she gets inspired. And she grows up, she becomes a great actress, but she only appeals to the black kids. Like she doesn't, there's nothing else about, like all the black kids like her, but none of the other kids do. Is that fair to your daughter? Compared to like her getting selected for this role and her actions, her as the character, inspiring like millions? And it's because I saw where he was coming from, and I'm glad that he saw where I was coming from. But if I have to give another example, when I went to see Black Panther with my friend Sarah Berry, when I left the theaters, I was expecting to see like just like more black folks there. I saw like Mexican kids, couple of Caucasian kids, all coming out enjoying the movie. And I got to question a couple of them that was like, you know, we like Killmonger, and I'm like,
Because he wasn't wrong. He just
Man.
his idea wasn't wrong.
Malcolm
the delivery,
X versus Du Bois.
the execution.
Malcolm X versus King up in here, man. That Washington Du Bois. That's what
He
I saw.
wasn't wrong either.
But,
Just saying.
But all right, so going back,
Violence is
execution,
always
boy.
the answer.
jumping
Pun
back,
included.
jumping
Pun
back
intended.
on track. I saw other kids coming out of that theater, excited, happy. They liked Black Panther. They thought it was a cool character. They thought everybody in there was a cool character. I had to avoid some of the media because I hated when something is just like marketed over woke. Like, oh my god! I'm glad their first trailer was a trailer of the movie. And not, well, we had an entire staff of black people get together and get in a writing room
Lip service
to make
man.
it diverse. I'm glad it wasn't that. But
Lip service.
yeah, that to me is what I would expect more out of representation. Now, for me, what's changed about it is I was writing down some notes and stuff, and as I looked into it, I realized that line of thinking was definitely was wrong. I will say that because representation is important. So I guess the train I'm on now is I'm going after the folks who do representation wrong. Phone, shut up. When you
Cut it off.
You can talk later.
Joe gotta
You
put
know
the
what?
gem
Let
on
me
silent.
Put it on silent.
But yeah, it's more phone. We going.
You be running the podcast and you always be the one breaking the rules.
I know. I break all the rules. You know, I'm gonna leave them in there this time. Y'all gonna hear my phone going off. That was phone, everybody.
One
But,
to
I
see
hope
you in
you
high
leave it out,
demand.
otherwise you're gonna sound real crazy.
Man.
Phone.
Y'all hear something?
It'd be hilarious.
Is that a JoJo
My phone-
reference?
The phone just starts talking, and it's like, what about us electronics, huh? How about we represent?
I'm leaving. That's how it
It's like
starts.
all we got was Transformers.
Bye bye.
That is how, what in the iRobot? I'm leaving. If that happens.
But yeah,
I just want to say shout out to our robot overlords.
No,
GPT, what's
don't
good?
encourage them.
Hey, boo.
Tell them to stay where they at.
001011110.
I always say thank you when I use Chat GPT. Every time.
Skynet, I take care of my stuff. Don't
Shameless
send them
plug.
after me. But yes, I do see that it's important. And so now my anger and stuff is directed at the people who do representation wrong, in a sense. So
Hollywood.
Like all of it.
Yeah,
Damn.
all of
Hollywood.
it.
I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
Bro, it is cold out there. I'm telling you.
Get some dust over here.
Hollywood.
No, you just sound like you choking on that.
Hollywood, y'all slowing out. Disney, I'm looking at y'all. I'm looking at y'all on this. I'm not gonna let it work for Disney. I'm looking at Disney on this one because I will
Man.
say this: they dropped the ball with the Little Mermaid.
Several things.
Several things. I'm looking for Little Mermaid largely because I'm like, we got a Caucasian mermaid. We did have a Hispanic mermaid. Folks thought I was crazy. I looked up.
Yeah, all her sister King Triton was getting on down, boy.
Not the sister. This was in an episode of the TV show.
Oh,
They had a
okay.
Hispanic mermaid that was deaf. And she had to communicate through sign language. Nobody talks about her at all. And I'm like, okay, so we're getting a black mermaid now. All right, that's interesting. It's Ariel. So what we're doing, what Mortal Kombat did now, color palette swaps. Is that it? What next? We're going to get another mermaid instead of Ariel, bro? She's just going to be called C.
See?
Yes.
See?
Yes. She's going to be called C. And then her sister
The
H2O.
letter? Oh, okay.
was like-
You're just ignorant.
Yes,
That's
her
fine.
sister going to be H2O. We're going to get a land-based mermaid called Oxygen. Watch. They're going to be different colors.
How is it a mermaid if it's on land?
Bro. That's
A
not how
land-based.
that works.
Bro, they land-aid.
Mermaid.
The land-aid, bro. Land-aid.
Land aid? We already got land
That's a
aids.
fair point. Like just recycling Ariel and, like you said, switching the color on her. But I think that's in line with this sickness that Disney has lately of remaking movies instead of
Yeah,
coming
they
up with
need
new
to stop.
content.
Exactly.
They need to stop.
The biggest, I have two gripes with this. Like, one, yes, they just need, please go back to the drawing board and bring in some
New things.
original ideas.
Yes.
Like, some of their more original stuff lately has been fucking good. But going back to just Little Mermaid remake in general, and I understand how this is going to sound, and I do appreciate the irony of the double meaning here. My biggest gripe with that movie was the fact that it was just so damn dark. Like, honestly, they shot the shit.
Yes.
In the trailers, you couldn't see shit. I understand that's how it is, like, whatever 1,000 leagues under the sea. But, motherfucker, I need to see the movie.
So, like, that's the thing that I
Did they
I
get
heard,
with the
too.
same people that filmed the finale of Game of Thrones? Like, this shit.
I ain't
We
seen no
wanted
coffee
to
cups.
make it look real. Bitch, I need to see.
Yeah. It's a cartoon.
There are colors in real life.
Right.
When it comes to things like live action and stuff, they use their creative liberties for the wrong stuff. Okay, we're under the sea, but it's dark under the water. That's a fish.
Right.
Like we're trying to, we the audience need to see everything that's gonna, you know, they tried to do to us what they did with a lot of games back in the past. You ever got an HD remake of a game and you notice just like, oh Lord, when you put the light on there, man, Soul Calibur 2 HD, woo, them faces, boy. They
busted?
Yeah, they busted. They knew the CG and stuff in that movie was just like, I didn't like how Sebastian looked. I showed him like what they did.
I heard Sebastian, I can't think of the name of the guy who played him, but he wasn't Caribbean, and they said his accent was atrocious.
Oh man.
And I'm just like, why not just get somebody that has the
Bro, you
accent.
can literally just go to like Jamaica right now and just be like, "Hey, you."
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna find somebody.
Representation.
It's funny when the culture that you're trying to represent calls you out on it. That's one of the reasons why I used Cleopatra as an example at the opening, because I didn't expect that when I heard about it. Because it was a coworker that told me about it, and I thought he was joking. And I found like YouTube videos, news articles about it, and I'm like,
It sounded like a joke.
wow. And just from the snippets I'd listened to, I'd heard stuff about that, because for the longest time I thought, yeah.
I'm coming on this podcast out from under a rock, so I don't know what's going on. Can you explain what's going on with Cleopatra?
Yeah, there was a Cleopatra documentary that was made by Jada Pinkett Smith, and all of Egypt want to sue Netflix because of it, because they did not represent Cleopatra properly. In fact, a lot of them are upset because we have this idea, or this Afrocentric idea of Cleopatra when she was Mesopotamian. Yeah, and other depictions of Cleopatra, she wasn't necessarily black, or the black that we envisioned her to be.
Yeah.
And one of the guys even said, like, if it were fictional, we wouldn't have too much of a problem with it, because hey, that's fiction. But you did.
They say that.
You did it. Yeah,
They say that.
did a documentary,
Right.
and they just felt like they tried to make it its own thing instead of representing Cleopatra for what she was. And
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
Like, she's definitely been like whitewashed in the past, but she's definitely not black. Like people like to say Cleopatra was black. Like,
That's a really good point. So she's been whitewashed for decades. So why is it now a problem? Why are they coming after Jada so hard for, I guess, blackwashing?
it makes me wonder if it's.
I wanted to say something else. I ain't gonna say
there's
that.
two-tone here. I think I love how y'all are picking up on that. I think part of it is the fact that we are now becoming more aware of essentially how history books have portrayed things and essentially like completely whitewashed our history in general. And I think that attributes on both fronts. I think that we are offended and being assertive about those things because now we realize this is happening more and more, and our generation especially is becoming more and more outspoken about that. But on the flip side of it, I can understand the ignorance because that's what's been taught for however long.
It sounded, to me, it did sound kind of off when they said, you know, if it was a thing of fiction. And if anyone in the comments, if I'm speaking wrong, feel free to correct me. When they did say if it was fiction, we wouldn't mind it so much, we wouldn't have cared, versus a documentary. Because I'm at work listening to this, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm iffy about that one little part, because I'm like, because I thought back to some of the older movies I'd seen, like way back, like 60s or 20s movies, where Cleopatra was represented, and I was like, huh. And it was
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, it would be weird too, because I remember seeing.
She looked good though. I'm just saying she wasn't.
I saw some of those growing up, and then I see another video where Cleopatra's like black, and I'm like, which
like y'all have a problem with what is it, Gods of Egypt or?
Bruh, that was terrible.
Like
that didn't make any sense.
Like now you know these.
I ain't even gonna say nothing.
You know these ninjas.
We can go back as far as like
Ninja Turtles.
These, 10 Commandments and shit.
Bro, the 10 Commandments.
That don't make any sense either.
No, because my grandma used to watch that shit faithfully, and I'm like, they
spray tan.
Like, why didn't you just get somebody tan?
My parents be watching these westerns.
The costume department was on point.
For sure.
Dude, the westerns with the Native Americans.
Bruh.
I mean,
there was
I cannot.
I will never forget in my U.S. history class in college. We watched a movie, and the Native American man was a ninja. He was coming. He was just fading in and out of the darkness. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Look, you bring up the old westerns and shit. And you look at like things like Lone Ranger, like way back in the day. We go back up to the remake here. He's still being played by a white man. What the fuck is going on?
I love Johnny Depp down as an actor. Like, he can act, but there was no reason that y'all should have went and got Jonathan Depp.
Using your full name, sir. Jonathan Depp.
Why did that feel so wrong?
With an H.
Because Johnny Depp.
That sounded like the equivalent of the hard R, right?
But he should not have been in that movie as Tonto. Like he shouldn't have been.
That casting was.
And
I
nobody.
think people talked about it.
People,
I should
only
hope so.
people that were offended by it talked about it. White people had no problem. It's Johnny Depp.
I had a problem.
Okay.
One white person had a problem.
That's good shit.
when it does come to representation, I think I gotta. I'm. You know what? I'm gonna pull out some of my daggers. I'm gonna throw some towards the black community because going into college, I saw this especially. I learned about other black characters and black heroes. I remember like constantly debating with people left and right because they were like, well, that person, that dude was a sub character, or that ninja was this and that. And I'm like, bro, look at the role this man is playing. Like in the CW shows, what was it? Barry and Oliver. Who did they run back to every time they ran back to John Dingle and Joe West? Yep. They ran back.
John who?
John
Diggle.
Oh.
Yes.
I said
John Diggle.
Diggle.
He's a character that's named after the creator of Green Lantern.
Okay.
But he's black in the show, and he's a solid ass character.
Yeah, so
I really
apparently
Well,
he's
you know,
supposed to
people always
segue
want
into
niggas
John
to clean up
Stewart.
they mess.
And
But
they
like-
never got there.
But like,
Nope.
so I learned about like
Ran
other
out of
like
budget.
black characters. Because like, I believe it or not, growing up, I didn't know Black Panther existed. I had no idea who this man was. Until
I mean, you wouldn't unless you were
I
just
saw
reading the comics.
I saw this show called The Next, or this movie called The Next Avengers. My first year in college.
Trash.
And
know
they
exactly
had,
what you're talking about.
you say it was trash. That little boy Azari, that man squared up with his robot dad and made a lightning panther.
I like the characters and the concept that was trash.
Yeah,
But keep going.
That was when I first learned about Black Panther. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, wait. That's the dude that could turn into the animal. Basically, I'll put it this way. I knew about him because I'd seen him in past shows. I didn't know he was black. Like, most people barely talk. I heard people talk about Static, but I didn't hear about Black Panther. I didn't hear about Black Lightning. Black Lightning and Black Vulcan were the same dude, weren't they?
Nah.
He was Black Vulcan was a version,
Okay.
but they switched it
Well,
up.
I heard more about Static Shock,
Black people and lightning
anyone
powers.
than anyone else when it came to him. And I'm like, okay, so we have all these other black heroes, like Tuskegee Airs. Yo, there are some black groups I'm in. When they bring up this argument, I'm like, guys, Tuskegee Airs.
They made their own characters
Y'all,
based on a historical
We
thing.
don't promote a lot of these other characters that are out there. We don't get behind them. I saw everybody get behind Black Panther when it came out. All the videos I saw, everything. The Coming to America folks, the work. But
Yeah, black
a
people
week
are
or two
so
later,
unserious.
when A Wrinkle in Time came out, nothing. I didn't
Oh, yeah,
hear.
they
I
didn't
didn't
support
hear
that.
a peep. And I'm like, y'all, if you want black folks to be represented, we gotta be there for the characters. We got our own characters.
Yeah.
That's the reason I had a problem with The Little Mermaid.
And honestly, not even just the characters. I mean, I would like them to have their own story too. I mean, can we talk about Black Panther being just Lion King? I mean,
The format of the movie.
It was the exact same thing. Disney, we've seen this before.
It was Lion King, but
You know what it is though? It's the hero's journey thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Except
yes,
Except they
did.
decided,
But
instead
you
of
can
Hamlet,
do
they
it.
did Martin
Yeah, it
Luther
was
Without
pretty
telling the
close.
exact
Bro, that
same
movie-
story.
Yeah,
I was
it
gonna
was
say,
pretty close.
the hero's journey, as most of us in this room know, like that's a format. That's not like this is the story that has to be told when we do this.
I
Like,
just hated.
you can change the
I
Right.
the
really
aspects
hated.
of
It's a
it.
guideline.
I
It's
really
not.
hated
Yeah,
Killmonger's.
not actual rules.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really just hated Killmonger's entire not idea. I hated his goal overall because he was like, I'm gonna arm my brothers and sisters around the world at once.
Like,
no. What?
Everybody,
We gonna
every
have-
single
We
person.
gonna have
Come to
Wakandan
Memphis.
tech. And I'm like,
Like for a
"Let's-
second, and you'll find out why you should
Let's
not do
arm
that.
angry people.
Exactly.
That always works.
Angry
In general.
people that
In
have been
general.
oppressed and don't have nothing.
Like,
are we
That's
sure
not
this is
smart.
Because they gonna shoot him in the face.
They're not smart.
Appreciate it,
I
bro.
honestly think Wakanda by itself it's gonna fold in. And it's like when I saw people that like Killmonger. There were a difference between the people who just liked him as a character. They liked his design. I ain't gonna lie, man, dread hairstyle was on point.
Yeah.
I thought that was fresh. Man took off his shirt. I was like, damn, bro, man, cold. I can't say nothing. Michael B. Jordan, you did that role. What you talking about?
Nothing at all.
We're gonna use that to segue into something else shortly too.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I saw him take his shirt off. I was like, "Hey, auntie."
I was like, yeah, that man was ready.
Hold up a minute.
Probably thinking, hey, daddy.
Everyone was so on the goal of what he wanted. I'm like, bruh, I'm on T'Challa's side. Like, I'm gonna be honest now. Wakanda, y'all could have done better, yes. But we're not gonna give folks, especially black folks in the U.S., y'all are not gonna get Wakandan tech.
Facts.
No, I say this as one of them. Give me a Black Panther suit, I'm going crazy.
I'm
Right,
so
you're
about
not
to
gonna give a regular person a superhero.
Give me even one of them gauntlets. I'm
Bruh.
robbing a fucking bank.
I
Don't let me see none of the Infinity
In
Stones.
this country, no. I'm throwing my privilege down right down there.
Everybody quick, shoot a missile at him. Bro, absorb the damage and throw it back at you.
Yeah.
Like Killmonger. No, like if we're going to have good representation for black folks, Aizawa sent me a text a while ago. I mean, I should have showed y'all this before we came up here, but it's for a sort of like animated anthology called Kizazi Moto.
Oh yeah.
I was watching that trailer, and the first thing that came to mind, I was like, oh my god, this is an entire trailer of animated like shorts from Africa. It's got black folks in it, but there was not one fucking woke thing in it. Nothing, just no black power, nothing. It was just black folks doing their thing or fighting evil or in Oban Star Race or Death Race.
You got to send me that. You got to send me that.
I would send you that. It is.
real.
I want to see it because I'm like, that's.
I ain't never heard of
Yeah,
it.
the representation is out there. You just gotta look for it.
and
Bro.
that representation should be used to inspire. It should be used to inspire other folks. Like if a white dude saw that movie or a Mexican dude saw the movie, like, man, I want to make something. I want to make something like that. And if they make it with a Mexican person, it should inspire a black person. Dang. Dude saved like a whole village and went out like, you know what? I want to be like him. I didn't see not one person who I knew growing up that saw Digimon say, I want to be like Patamon and Digifall and save my friends. I'm going to risk my
Why
life.
would you want that?
Man, it was an angel. I mean, to be fair, they don't die. But like, I didn't
become
see
a digital monster.
We had like angels. Growing up, we had angels, dinosaurs.
I wouldn't want that
goofy
at
movie
all.
Folks. We had people who did not look like us.
To be fair, it's a
But
lot of
they
digital
all-
monsters now.
Yeah, sure. But they didn't even look like us. But they all taught us a lesson. You name me one dude that don't want to get knowledge, bro. I'm sorry. Everybody knows
Disney
what
trying to
Look.
ease us into bestiality.
Yep. Hey, the furries. Hey, proud furry, but no, not
Ooh.
Didn't the dude really
half a
Stop
furry. You know what I'm
telling your
saying?
business.
Sir D-Star, he like to act like he not one, but you know he is.
Oh, we stars.
Was there a dude who
Stop
actually
telling
turned
these
himself
folks
into
business.
into a dog? There was a guy who
What?
turned himself
Look,
into a dog.
people been doing weird shit like that for a while, man. I've
That's true.
seen like back in the Spike TV days. I've
Ooh.
seen one dude that turned himself into a damn tiger, like tattooed himself up, stripes, the whole
Yeah.
thing, changed fangs out.
Oh my God, I forgot about
whiskers
that.
in
I
his
bet that
head.
costs
he
so
went
much money.
He
did.
so much.
I
But that
completely
just
forgot
goes
about
to
that,
say,
bro.
no matter
You're
what
welcome.
brand of weird you are, there's always going to be a weirdo out there that likes the same thing that you like.
Yeah.
Stop
Like-
trying to force your shit on.
now,
That's
Oh.
inspiring.
now, I want to kind of segue into something. I want to kind of segue into this next bit, going off something Exo Aizawa mentioned, where she was questioning me when I was commenting on the physique. I can't say that.
Physique.
He want to say deek. That's
No.
what he want to say.
You made me out to someone totally different. I assure you.
Physics.
It's
What?
okay if I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I assure y'all, the Dendalion has love for all women. And chairs.
Whoa.
And shit.
That turned
Oh.
real.
I love houses. I love aliens. You have
Don't you
I
tell
love
the
that.
aliens that they gonna
So,
come
like-
down here and take that booty.
No.
Yes,
so
they
the Disney
are.
movie Smart House, that was your.
No,
That was
no. I know it was like smart houses.
Let's investigate this on another
Let's-
episode.
yeah.
Let's explore this.
We will say that for another episode, but so when I was complimenting the way he looked. So another thing I've been seeing in this push for representation has been the fact bros can't be bros and girls can't be girls, bro. If two dudes are hanging out, are good friends, yo, bro, they gotta be gay for each other. They have to love each other. No. And that, people say there's so much.
Well, if it's your bro, you should love him.
I mean, yeah, bro. I'm just helping you out, bro. I'm just helping with two bros, helping release stress. No.
See,
that takes
that's
it a
not
step
what I
further.
said. That's
Yeah,
not what I
further.
said.
But see, so the thing is, it's like
Back to
Falcon-
back.
I'm using Falcon and Winter Soldier as an example of this. As far
People
as
thought they were
Are you talking about
entangled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made fan
Fandom
art.
shipping?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It's a lot of
people
fun.
always
see,
make
yeah,
fans
yeah,
of
that's
stuff.
Well,
Yeah, that's
it's
gonna
one
happen.
thing when it's a fandom, but this turned into full blown like problems and issues, and now there are people constantly upset if there are two, like for example, two male characters that just get along, but they're not like all over each other making out.
Yeah, I hope that's allowed in the
Rule
minority.
34 is a thing.
Yeah.
I wish it only stayed there. I really wish it only stayed there. I guess in this case, this is a little small matter, but I see it so much, and I'm like, is this really just Rule 34 at this point, folks?
I mean, shipper's gonna ship.
Yeah, and it's like it's like they don't know how to. I'm gonna say this one to the people who make it. When they do make characters in the homosexual range, they don't know how to implement them into the show properly. Are any of you familiar with Q-Force? It stands
Does
for
Q?
Queer Force.
I was finna say, does
Oh.
Q stand for queer?
Force. And it is a show on Netflix that anyone that's in LGBTQ hated. Because they went beyond.
So
scary.
representation was there, but it was bad.
It was very
I
bad.
feel like in these kinds of instances, whenever there's like a show that's specifically like Q Force or like Queer Eye or like these things where like that's part of the title, of course they're gonna ham it up. Like they're gonna lean heavy into those stereotypes.
They did.
That makes
Absolutely.
sense.
That whole show was.
But there are some instances of representation in that community where it seems cohesive and natural. Like one of the first times that I saw it, well, not one of the first, but one of the I have my own beliefs and standards on that whole thing, but within media. But we were watching Walking Dead. Me and Biddy were watching Walking Dead back in the day when they first introduced Aaron into it. Like he was a homosexual character. When we first were introduced to it, it was literally like, I'm just worried about my partner. I got to get back to this person. I'm worried, like they're injured, blah, 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 the whole thing. And like they literally just, okay, now we're in the same room. We see his partner is of the same gender. And there was just that quick, I was worried about you. Hey, I got you this while I was out. You know, they did the whole kiss thing, stroking through the hair. But it was natural. It was like this whole, like, this is how people interact with each other when they love each other. It has nothing to do with we are the same sex. We must make sure we double down
People
on
can
that.
connect with that, with wanting to help out a loved one.
Right.
So that was really
I would
smart.
like to piggyback out that with the movie, a Netflix movie named Mona.
That was so good.
I went in thinking, like, because everything I had heard about it, I was like, man, I don't know. That movie was fucking fantastic.
Nimona.
That was
It's good.
brilliant. Now, the character
The art is
Nimona-
great, too.
Yes, the character Nimona herself was great, but I love the other main character. I keep forgetting. I never could remember his name, but I liked him because he and his lover, he was gay, and his lover was like the next in line to be the head of the Knights. They were pitted at odds against each other, but their interactions were so normal that I was trapped in the field of just them as characters. I didn't care they were gay. I was like, yeah, because like basically at one point he felt betrayed, and he let that be known, and he fought with the guy, and I'm like, it's nothing else. I was flipping tables like, this is how you do it.
Yeah,
bro, folks need to be connected with the characters, bro. If you
Right.
want people, especially children, if you want them to be brought in, you can have the surface level stuff, yes, but you gotta give the kids a reason to stay.
Did you consider, because I watched Nimona with a friend of mine, and she said something that I didn't notice. Would you consider Nimona, the title character, could be a trans allegory?
I thought about that because she could transform.
Yeah.
And it was also the style of dress they chose for her.
Yeah.
I did think about that because I found some online forums where some people were saying, I don't want to go too far in the spoiler territory, so I won't mention that part, but I did think about that. And if it is, they did that smartly.
Because there was a line where they were like, he was like, so you're a little boy now? And she was like, today. Like kind of like slid back today.
It's one of those things where
like,
it's not blatant. They follow Stan Lee's theory. If you got crap like that, you keep it in the background. And people are human spirit. We like it when we figure things out ourselves. So because that it's not so blatant and in your face, you're like, oh, I like that idea. 'Cause I was like, Nimona may be trained. It's a possibility. So yeah, if that's the case, it could be in there.
That's interesting.
Indeed.
So yeah, that works. What else you got, man? What else? What other
Oh man,
examples? You got some more examples?
I got plenty. In fact, Biddy and Aizawa, I'm especially glad you guys are here as well. So growing up as women and as women of color, when you saw women represented in the media, what were some good and some bad examples? I want to start there from both of them. At the very least, what was one good example you saw, and what was one bad example?
Really good example, Susie Carmichael.
I was gonna say that too.
And her whole family. Really bad example. I mean, I like Proud Family, but fucking Dejanay. Like, why, bro? Why, bro? And I get that there are some of us out there like that, but why? I just want to know. Like her
Realism.
siblings' names were like fucking Tabasco.
Now that was
Honestly, yes, but I like that the Proud Family showed a range of black characters, and I think that that's a characteristic of not just representation for representation's sake, but I think it's evolved when you can show like a spectrum of characters. So Dejanay, she's kind of cringe, it's kind of embarrassing to see some of the way she's characterized. But at the same time, she does reflect what some people's lives are.
You probably know somebody like that, right?
Yeah, circling back to Killmonger, like, yeah, he's got some questionable, like, he's a flawed character. He's not perfect, but it's good to see that you can still, like, it's good representation to see that, like, you don't have to be perfect to be a person of color on screen.
Exactly.
You can have complex morals. There can be layers to you.
I actually
the best
do.
characters in general.
Yeah.
I actually do like how you worded that too. The Proud Family is a show that I don't hear many people speak about, and that was one.
Well, they remade that shit too. I don't understand why it's so many remakes. Just re-release.
Yeah.
Now it's a continuation. I'm excited.
Oh, it's a continuation.
Yeah,
Okay.
It is a continuation.
Ain't it?
They're a little
It's out.
older. They
It's
aged
out
up.
already.
Yeah, it's been out for a
out.
minute. It's
Okay.
from what I've seen. I'm raising a few question marks. They kind of feel like they kind of shoehorned a couple of things in there, but it's still.
They
Proud
didn't use
Family.
it to its full potential.
Yeah. But like at the time, the Proud Family was good too because I would have watched that show sometimes, and I would forget that they themselves were black till I see the intro, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I was so engrossed in this show. Like I thought Penny was one of the Penny, La Cienega, Zoe, the Gross Sisters, Sticky. Their main name is Sticky. That was his real name.
It's fine.
He's real sticky now.
Into Dejanay, every one of them represented somebody I knew in some form or fashion, especially Dejanay. And I'll give it this: Dejanay did a lot of green stuff, but at least she actually came back and apologized, and she was there for her.
They kind of all did. They were all ragged. They were not good
La
with each
Cienega,
other.
They wrong.
La
Hey,
Cienega could catch hands.
they wrong for naming her La Cienega Boulevardez.
Yeah. Because in
La
California,
Cienega.
La Cienega Boulevard.
Yeah, that's a place.
Yeah.
And her mom's name is Sunset Boulevard.
Oh no!
I'm like
That's probably
Boulevardez.
Actually, you know what? I never knew her mother's name until now.
Boulevard is.
I really never knew her name. I never did.
Sunset.
But I'm gonna be honest, Trudy. I had a lot of respect for Trudy. I'm gonna be honest. Like I could never figure out why. And what Trudy displayed, I would say the same thing. She displayed the same thing in characters like Aunt Viv displayed as being
Original Unveil.
Actually,
I like both of them,
I
but
actually like both.
I don't have a
But
problem
the
with
first
light
one
skin
is-
Unveil, but
the first one real.
dark skin Unveil was the real OG.
Dark skin Viv. If she had a bone to pick with you, bro, you was in trouble.
she did look at you.
I'll never
Yeah,
she
that was
went
that
to
black mama look.
She went to that dance class and I did them.
I was just about to say, you gotta bring up the dance episode.
I was like,
She hit
bro,
that shit.
Attitude.
She had that one face the whole time. Went outside and passed out. I was like, that's real. That is real. But that was that.
That's
those
good
are two
representation,
characters-
too.
Those are two characters I felt represented just how you hold down the black household.
Moesha.
Well, actually, just our household,
Just in general.
Yeah,
Honestly,
in general.
I feel like Fresh Prince was one of those that like across the board, even with ditzy older
Ashley.
sister Hillary,
Not-
like
I was
still
gonna say Hillary.
strong black woman.
Hillary.
And I feel personally, and y'all feel free to chime in and disagree with me here, but I feel like that represented, especially a modern black family, more than even the Cosby Show did. Like, I feel like there's a lot of, I guess, not culturally, but like personality whitewashing within the Cosby Show.
And so the reason I asked you to
I can see that.
The reason I asked you to that is because there are two things I want to get into. I have been in debates with people or some other women of color where they have stated that they were like, name one movie or TV show that had like strong black women, and then I just started busting out 90s shows. I actually made a list, and I was like,
Yeah, for black women,
And
the
I
90s was
always
a really big
was a thing.
like,
I will
representation
always say
time.
Sister. I didn't think I was gonna like
Sister is funny.
I love that show. I love this. I think that was.
Like you got Sister, Living Single,
I still didn't.
Moesha.
Dude, you're gonna love
Moesha.
this.
Oh my God! I'm not the only one that watched Moesha.
My sister watched Moesha.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
how
my
I saw
God.
it.
Wait, did y'all see Taina?
Mo to the
Did y'all watch Taina also?
Taina.
I mean-
That's such a throwback. Oh my gosh.
I love you
Yeah, for me,
guys.
that's an obscure
I'm
one.
aware of Taina. I'm
Yeah,
not
I don't know
gonna
what
sing
that
the
is.
theme
Hey, I
song.
still roll with you though. You've seen a lot of stuff. All right, so I'm gonna get into the next part. So the reason I want to get into the next part is how it's more so how women are represented in media now and how men are represented in media now compared to how they were, say, like when we were growing up. Because one thing I've noticed, and I'm more upset that this had to be pointed out to me, is that now you want women to seem like they're stronger, but it's coming at the cost of two things. A, they are undermining a lot of the male characters to make them look good. Now, if it's your own kind of standalone movie, I get it, but it's to the point now where like the dudes really suck. And B, just to make them look good, it doesn't feel natural. It feels like you got to give them like everything under the sun.
Superpowers.
Yeah, and so an example I'm going to bring, everybody's familiar with Beyblade to some degree. You've at least seen the show maybe once or twice, probably saw a few episodes. So I was looking, because I wanted to do something on Beyblade, a video on that.
Ooh.
And looking into Beyblade V-Force, I came across a mention on the wiki why they added more female characters to the cast. Now, I didn't think about that at first until I read that, and I was like, damn, they did. They wanted to balance out the cast more. Because at the time, there were a lot more girls starting to get into Beyblade. So they added some female characters. These female characters, and yo, Naruto fans, get them kunais ready. They
Let's
were
get it.
far better written than Sakura.
They were.
They shat on Sakura.
I don't even
And I
think
was-
that's a point of contention. Like every
Somebody will
female
argue with
character in Naruto is just not well written.
They were
Period.
wasted.
They were.
No.
But these characters, I remember the names: Selima, Miriam, Hillary. Them three alone shit on all the female characters in Naruto. And it's the way every one of them were implemented. Those girls were tough when they needed to be tough. Hell, Selima and Miriam got big with Max and Ray.
How so?
Bruh, Selima basically told Ray fuck off while she was under mind control. And she was the second strongest on her team while, keep in mind, while going up against the main team. I'm sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. But she was the second strongest on her team out of all of them.
Glitched.
I forgot about that.
Miriam, she used Shark Crack. And the interesting thing about her is she fit the motherly role of her team. She was a brother to Joseph. And when any of them were feeling bad or down and out, except Ozuma's edgy ass, she was there for them. But at the same time, when it came out to fight the Blade Breakers, she was out there throwing hands with Max. She was teaching that boy. She was telling him he sucked. She told him he was weak. She kicked his butt.
time
She
for me to
threw
rewatch
Giselle
this.
up against the wall.
What was the team name?
The team name for them were the Saint Shield.
I gotta rewatch this again. Boy.
I need to rewatch.
Rewatching Beyblade, when I was rewatching Beyblade V-Force, I was surprised. Hillary, while she seemed, at times she came off very annoying, she was solid. She got them to work together. She got the Blade Breakers to work together again, to get back on their training regimen. Tyson tore into her for everything. She couldn't see Dippies. When she learned to see him, she saved Max. her being there, staying in people's ass the way she did, she not only became a light, she was showing girls that, hey, you can be tough, and sometimes we gotta whoop these guys in the shape to get done. Miriam, yeah, the reason I respect Miriam so much is because she grew up being taught that like her big beast was a tool. So in a battle with Max, like her moments of weakness came when she cared. She had to help her enemy get out of a building crumbling around them. Both of them, she had to help this man walk. She had to heal his wound because he took a blow for her. She showed that she was caring. And when she left, when they got out, she put him under her chin. She was like, I gotta bounce. Next time I see you, it's your ass. Next time she saw him, they were in a battle. And Max was telling her, look, you gotta stop listening to your squad. Now you make a choice. It's you and your big beast, or y'all finna lose. She made the choice. She lost, but she threw Drusilla all over the damn place, man.
And see, that's crazy. Like
I don't see that now. When let me finish.
Yo, you good.
When I see people say like, oh, well, Captain Marvel and Kate Bishop in the MCU, they're well written. You don't know what to talk about. No, they're not. Those characters don't know when to care. They don't know how to care, and they don't know when to be tough. Miriam knew when. Dunga felt bad, she cradled that man and she helped him out, and she tore into him more than anybody. And when she needed to defend our brothers, that shark came out of nowhere and was fighting tigers, boy. She stood there face to face. Mariah from the Chinese team looked Ray in the face and was like, you left. I didn't like that. So me and my Panther finna fight this tiger, boy. I grew up with folks like that. Don't
It's the boys for me.
My brothers and sisters, let me put on my slow Umar Jackson.
Oh no, God!
You know,
put away the Kente hat.
But this man, like literally, like the characters from Beyblade weren't playing. Some of them from Yu-Gi-Oh too. Alexis Rhodes wasn't about that life, boy. She wasn't about that life. She told Jaden, look, y'all ain't supposed to be over here in the girls' dorm, so this was gonna happen. I'ma duel you, and if I beat your ass, you're gonna get expelled. I'm sorry. Oh shit. Whoa. Hold up. I thought you okay. And they were like, we should tell the teacher. No, them folks want to get a show, they finna pay for it. Then they told on them later. But it was back. I felt back then watching those shows, a lot of characters were stronger. Beware the Batman. Barbara Gordon. Batman Beyond. Don't get me started on Tim. From Batman Beyond. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like,
she on point. So, she was there for. I can't even remember the most. You've rewatched this more recently than I have. Beyond.
Yes. There's just looking at a lot of how some of these characters are represented. Now, I feel just it upsets me because, like I said, Sakura, for example, Kishimoto made her. He even said he made her for the female fan base. But they're just like, why?
He do a good job of it.
I'm like, why is she so slow?
You know what's funny? I think he started off okay with it. She was the brainiac of the team, and while she was weaker than Naruto and Sasuke, she was smart. She was clever. Those Sound Ninja tried to jump them. They had to get through a bunch of booby traps. And when it came down to the ladder, what happened? She was biting the dude, taking punches to the face.
Damn.
I've
never watched Naruto, so
this may be an unpopular opinion with Sakura, but honestly, I feel like she was all right, even all the way through Naruto proper. Going through that first arc in Shippuden, just beast.
Yeah, I like that.
It wasn't until that next arc where they started to kind of forget about her role in the team. Like, because up until that point, for the most part, like, she's still holding on. She's still trying to keep up, doing the best she can. And then she gets mentored with Tsunade. Okay, this is my path now. We see what she can do. And then it was just like, boys club.
Actually,
it's time for the boys club.
It's actually funny because Jiraiya, I rewatched the episode in sub and dub. Jiraiya stated when they was fighting against Kakashi, they was like, man, she knows genjutsu. She can be better than Tsunade. She punched her teacher out of the ground, bro. You punched your teacher out of the ground. Like, come on, like you set a character up, and then they just fall. And in the case of anime, I give anime this. They going strong with some of the representation. Now I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen. I've yet to see.
You are robbing yourself.
I am.
You are robbing yourself.
I did try. I couldn't get into it, but I have heard one thing consistently. Those are some good women in that show.
How the hell
one of my coworkers, man,
I don't know.
There's literally the very in so long has it been since I literally watched? I don't sit down and watch 2-3 episodes. By the end of the afternoon, I had caught up to like 13 whatever episodes when it was constantly coming out. And I just, bro,
because you just want to know what's gonna happen.
Get to it.
I wasn't feeling that first episode when I watched it. I was just like, I'm put this. It's one of them things like, it's like I'm gonna set you in my later box, and then I saw like a swath of other stuff come out.
I think what I like most about it is it does try to set up those same shonen tropes that we see.
Do they
but
subvert
then it
them?
just shatters them.
Yes,
oh, dude.
I need to watch this.
There is a point. There is a point where you think who you think the big bad is gonna be. Something happens, which I will not get into.
You need to watch it.
Something happens and it sends the MC over the fucking edge, dude, and it is so good.
So I'll give them credit. They are good at subversion of expectations. That's something I see a lot of shows trying to do, and they really mess it up. Domestic fucking Girlfriend. But yo, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know if we're talking about a show or a person right now.
I will get in. I'll get
Look
into
here,
that
domestic person.
That's not personal.
I will get into that one a little later. But yeah,
messed up.
But like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen is one I've heard of that has a good one. Actually, Gundam Build Fighters and Gundam Build Fighters tried perfectly well written female characters, and it feels like to me like women showing any form of weakness and caring now, just it makes it seem like it's weak when it's not.
I think a lot of that comes from where we were talking about 90 shows and whatnot. Yeah. I think that comes from the change of culture of what a strong woman is perceived as. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, when people think of, quote, strong woman, you're looking at this aggressive, like, take no nonsense nature. That's not, I'm sorry, but that's not a strong woman. You just being a bitch. Like, what it is you have to be strong enough to not only work with, I mean, the people in your life and whatnot, but also be there, especially within these characters, they always have that love interest or whatever. You got to be able to be their backbone when they need it, kind of thing. And nowadays, it's one of those, like, in that same situation, we see that modern aggressive woman, like, pick your bitch ass up and keep moving. Like, that's not being a backbone. You're breaking them down more. Whereas these older characters would do that. They might harshly wake them up. Look, wake your ass up, and
there was like, I need you. I want to give that to Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes,
the women in that show knew when to break you down, and actually they just knew how to break you down, how to build you. Right. Genkai, Kuwabara's sister.
Oh yeah,
I was just about to say Kuwabara's sister is a perfect example. Yes, she always has that strong facade, but she also knows when to be sensitive.
Fuck Keiko. Man. I don't like Keiko.
Whoa, blasphemous.
I don't care.
Whoa.
I don't like her. She's annoying.
Whoa. I just like saying whoa.
You must, because she's horrible.
How was she hard? Keiko.
She's annoying.
I mean,
like she tried to help Yusuke out, but she was just fucking annoying.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't see any of them other girls run into a fire to get a dead body.
Look, I will say this. I'm gonna loosely agree with both of y'all here. But because Keiko was one of those, yes, when it come down to it, like when she had absolutely no other choice, like yeah, she could run in there, but it was all emotionally based. It wasn't that gritty, like get down. She's too milquetoast for me. Honestly, like real talk, like she's just like staying in the background until okay, so y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, I guess it's up to me. Runs in fire. Like, why are you running in fire? Fire trucks right down the fucking street. What are you doing?
She don't know.
Straight up emotion.
Actually, I thought about
which is not necessarily anything wrong with emotions.
It's not, but she was just too much.
So if it's one thing I would like
You're
to
not
see,
enough of something.
If there is one thing that I would like to see from like a modern female character, is one that grows to realize that like emotion can be a problem. Actually, in fact, I'm gonna use a good one for this one because I will argue this to the day I die. Korra, there are people.
You opening up.
You
opening up some boxes of Pandora's.
The reason I'm opening this Pandora's box is because for me, everybody will try to back Korra, but they back her from the idea of either what it's like having been a girl in her shoes what it's like being a girl or a guy that's trying to see it from the girl's point of view. As somebody who I think it's like direct cinema or something to use it. I like to look at things as if I'm a fly on the wall. And I'm like, all right, Korra, first of all of Korra's villains are just Ozai cut into 4
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that right now. But for every villain she faced, Korra didn't exactly learn. She kept spiraling. I would have liked if she had learned because Kuvira shouldn't. I'm going to be honest. At least Kuvira, she should have been able to work her.
Yeah.
At least Kuvira. Right. Now Zahir, I give us
Zahir was just out of control.
Else. That's understandable. But at least Kuvira should have been.
I mean, she has no powers pretty much, and she's just a military commander with a husband. That's it.
Korra's big thing from what I saw, like that she had trouble mastering, was airbending. And to master airbending, you kind of had to be one with your inner self. So the journey should have been her trying to gain some control or master her emotions. That's why the idea of cutting off the other avatars was stupid. Because her, especially Aang, because it should have been her and Aang against the ideals of the other avatars. Because Aang had to argue with Roku.
It's kind of like, it's almost like her becoming a wind, like master of wind.
Yeah.
Zahir should have been the last season. And that should have been her learning that through whatever emotional breakthrough she has to get through or character development she need to go through. But they kind of like just shafted everything.
And at the start, I really liked Korra. I thought she was cool. She busted onto the scene, kicking ass. I was like, yo,
I'm the Avatar. You gotta deal with
exactly.
it. Yes.
But I'm like, for everyone's trying to defend Korra, and I'm like, compared to Aang, man, Aang to me was just a better representation of a person than Korra. Korra was a representation of you letting the world completely beat you down and tear you down. Now I give credit to her friends that the friends that tried to pull her out of it, but Korra just spiraled so deep, and I'm like, man, if you hadn't have cut off like Aang or somebody, like I feel
that shouldn't have been allowed to happen.
I would have, if I had gone that route, writing Korra to some degree, I would have like an inner Korra or something questioning her, like, do you really want to do this? Like with Sakura, they got rid of inner Sakura. That chick
had promise,
bro. That chick should have said, imagine a genjutsu with Sakura.
I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, just imagine it. You get caught you put Sakura in a genjutsu, and you get a tap on your shoulder, and this is inner Sakura, and she punch you in the face. Imagine that.
That'd be incredible.
That would be awesome. But it's the thing with a lot of female characters now, they're trying to do like the whole strong woman, like you gotta walk out here like Zarya and be like Zarya from Overwatch. We're not looking at what it takes to get to that point or some of the stuff they do. And then we ignore some of our history where some of these female characters.
Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like the cartoon version is very inspiring. It was inspiring me as a boy, as a little boy, watching it.
That movie was.
And I watched the remake, and she got superpowers. Bro. Like that's how she.
There's no reason for
Mama
this.
Denda. I told Mama Denda, don't buy the movie. It's gonna suck. She bought that movie, and when we went to pick up dinner, she watched it the way there. Her first question: where the fuck is Shane? Where was Shane? She's like, what the hell?
No idea.
What is it? She walked in like Dante and Devil May Cry 4. What the hell is this?
Because why did they take him out and Mushu? Like that's
Thank you.
the whole movie.
Well, it was,
and that's why I'm not entertaining none of that bullshit. None of the remakes.
The lip service of it. Because when they first took Mushu out, they were like, we want to make this more realistic, more historically accurate.
Why is there a witch?
Yes, you get to Phoenix Witch Lady.
Yes.
And she got powers. She's using ki.
Mulan, don't worry.
What was the reason?
Exactly. Like, why? Like, what are you trying to get at? Mulan herself. Literally, let's count what she did. She infiltrated the army, doubled as a guy, and nobody knew. She got a bigger death count than anybody in Disney.
Yeah.
She took out all but 4 Huns in a massive army. That's why, when I was a kid, I was actually mad at Shane. I saw Mulan in theaters. When they just left her in the snow, I was a kid. I was like, "Fuck Shane."
No, for real. Because why did?
That was the first time I heard it was a kid. I was so.
Because he didn't have to do her like that.
Yeah. I was like, but see,
like I get you upset or feel betrayed or whatever, but
as I got older, I did learn China back then. What Mulan did
was basically treason.
Yeah,
but I don't care.
So
all of y'all are walking and breathing because of what this woman did.
She
And she
bucked
didn't
the
even do it for
patriarchy.
you.
I'm
She did it
into
for
it.
her dad.
And then the sad part is, bruh, she went into China, fought Shan Yu and won, bro. I was like, are you serious? That's why the Emperor, to this day, I was like, that Emperor is the best dude ever. Man was
power.
like, I don't give a damn. Did she kill the man? Yeah, Yo, take her back. Give her the elephants. Here's some money. Yo,
Give her the elephants.
Everything. You get it all. I tell
The
you
Emperor
what.
was a real one.
This is Lieutenant Shane. Go on and get with him. You deserve it. All of y'all couldn't whoop this one dude. She fought him on my roof.
Right.
That Emperor had me. He said one of the best lines I say to this day. No matter how hard the wind may blow, the mountain will never bow. And I was like, whew, damn.
Ooh, that man was so mad. He was so mad.
Bro, like I remember as a kid, I was pissed at Shane. Mulan and her squad was their squad to me, but even when they found out she was a girl, they even looked like they weren't on board with leaving her. But they had to
Because that's fucking green, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, but you know what? I give Mulan credit. Because she said, F all that. She goes back into the city, and they were like, you can't be here. Her squad. Nah, fam. Nah. We got it. All right, so this is the plan. We got to fool them. Bet. Y'all got to cross-dress. Bet. Wow, we took out an army, man. Let's go. That's
Life or death.
Can we talk about how when they cross-dressed, like the people they were trying to fool? First of all, didn't even shave his
Them folks gay.
I don't know what kind of geishas y'all had back then, but
Hey,
they been on that type of time. You feel me?
I was gonna say back in the day, boy love was a very important thing.
It was.
it's like being in the army, man. It's been too long.
That's probably why Shang was conflicted. He was like, damn, I'm one of them, huh?
I give that scene so much credit because they played me a man while they were dressing up, and I was like, this is perfect. Who thought of this? This is genius. But yes,
That would be Disney.
You have Mulan. you all know I came across some people that literally told me that Princess Jasmine ain't do shit. And I was like, Princess
Like
Jasmine,
how?
she fought with Jafar. Did nobody
Right.
watch the show?
Here's the thing.
She took on
That's
an
the
army
show,
of metal.
though.
No, even in the movie.
In the movie, she was
fought with
defiant.
Jafar.
She seduced Jafar.
Exactly.
She
He
has
has
The tools in her
here's my
arsenal to
thing.
get what she
Right.
needed.
That's what I'm saying. How do you fight a dude with
That's what
magic?
you
Let's
got.
remember Jafar had magic.
Wait, which movie? I swear she
Like-
had Jafar in one of the movies. She got
I'm talking about OG Aladdin right now.
Okay,
Didn't-
I thought she was definitely defiant.
And
I don't know
that's
if she
defiant,
attacked
yes.
him.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
had-
was.
had her own personality, yes. Independent, yes.
She was. I mean, come on, bro. She tamed the
But
tiger.
Jack-
But like,
Tasha-
did
She was
tame
rich.
the tiger, or
That's,
did
no,
she have
she's
people tame it
rich.
for her?
Right, she's rich, and she had somebody do
Man,
that for
I
her.
don't know.
I'm sure.
Raja, like I said, I watched the TV
I
show
didn't
too.
see
Like she
any
probably
attendance,
grew up
though.
with the damn tiger, so that's not even.
Most tigers will still
Look,
bite your head off.
I watched the TV show too, and on the side note, we need a Xerxes movie, like now. Best
I
villain
second.
in that whole thing.
Mechanically,
Well,
too.
for early '90s though, even if Jasmine didn't get out there and like throw punches or anything, I think she still was a good example of a strong princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Because
give you
prior to that, all the princesses did was sleep and get kissed.
Yeah.
Or need rescuing.
Yeah.
We literally talked about this the other day.
I'm gonna be real with Snow White. To be fair, 80% of the movie Snow White, she was doing her own thing,
Sleep.
minding her own business. Then she got knocked out. So I'm willing to give Snow White.
That's
that.
fair. That's
we
fair.
got more than a few of those. I don't understand why these gentlemen and these gentlemen, and I use the term
Yeah,
loosely,
quote.
thought that you know what, she faking it. I'm just gonna have to assault her. She'll wake up. Like, wait,
It worked.
There was a meme.
surprise!
I know there was a meme. I
They've
saw
heard the
with,
fairy tales, I guess.
I swear there
Not
was a
trying to
meme.
be like an apologist, but
I swear there was a meme I saw with Sleeping Beauty where he was going in to kiss her and then showed them taking pictures and be like, gotcha.
I was gonna say, I literally just see it now. Like, but you didn't ask permission. But did it work though?
To be fair, I will admit, as a guy growing up, the Prince in Sleeping Beauty and the Snow White, I low-key thought that man was like some slinky weak dude. He wasn't as cool as like Prince Eric. Prince Eric, I give him credit from The Little Mermaid, because that man ran the ship into Ursula.
You're soft.
I was like,
He
no.
was the first prince to
Ain't
have a
shit without that
personality.
shit, baby.
Now, Shane, Actually, yeah, Shane was cold. I can't say
Yeah, Shane was cold. Ain't nobody seeing Shane.
Take nothing away from the Sleeping Beauty Prince. The man fought a dragon. Come on now.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
man.
he did.
He went in.
Fought his way through thorns.
Yeah.
All right,
He
but
went in.
Forest
did he have a keyblade?
Maybe
Have
that's
you fallen in a
Why would he-
ambush
no.
before?
he was just
Wrong story.
maybe he just had like brain fog from all the fighting, and he was like, I should kiss her to wake her up.
I'm like, I really
Maybe that's
wish they
what
had him, like, let's explore
Or
some
that
other
might have been like
avenues.
part of the
Yo, wake
legend
up.
or something.
Wake up.
Yeah, maybe he just knew that.
Is either that or Aurora was on some game shit back in the day. I know how to
I'm
do
finna
it.
put you
on.
Aurora did not
Exactly what
choose
this is.
to get
I'm
put
putting
to
this
sleep.
Halo light right here.
Hey,
gonna be glowing.
also, to be fair with Snow White, the other reason I don't get on the Prince, to be fair, that was that queen that had a problem where she's like, I'm gonna put this chick to sleep since she more beautiful than me. How is that? Why don't you just kill her? That would have worked so much better.
Because she wouldn't have got away with that.
Back then,
Look,
man, yo,
Okay, fine. We wouldn't have had a
Jealousy is
story.
Look, there are worse
technical.
things than death. Jealousy is a bitch.
No, for real.
Oh,
That's
like-
that evil
I
shit
see-
right there.
I see the remake for it, and when they revealed who the evil queen was, I'm like, so the mirror lied. The queen is still the fairest in the land. To me
Damn.
personally, I thought the queen, because when they showed how they looked at costume, I was like, why the queen look better than Snow White? Hold up, we got a problem now.
The queen was jealous of a child.
Exactly. She was jealous.
I
of
mean,
his
She has
it's
some issues
people
to
that
work
are
out.
like that,
That's true.
though.
That's
a
true.
shame.
I'm like the
People
Snow,
that are like that.
the Snow White prince.
She get out.
I was like, at least for him, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He don't
He
show up
didn't
to
do
the
shit.
He don't show up to the
You
end.
talking about not doing shit? He didn't do shit. Them little midgets did more than he did.
The dwarves?
Yes, they
The
did.
dwarves?
The dwarves
We're not PC anymore. No.
Okay.
Grumpy
said it's a
was
wrap.
my boy. Grumpy was my boy. That was my favorite one.
Grumpy was ready to throw hands.
Because he was fucking grumpy.
So did he just come out the womb?
Bro,
Like
him and Daffy Duck,
Dope-
I still want to see them fight.
Dopey little special self was ready to throw hands. Let's be real here.
Oh goodness gracious! So like overall with media, I do think to a degree, especially from a lot of indie stuff, it's coming to a good. The representation is getting better because I'm starting to see. When it comes to how some characters dress, I'm starting to see characters who need to dress modestly, be dressed modestly. If they aren't, there's usually a good reason behind it. Like okay, what? Loosely here.
I was gonna say,
Dead or
so
alive.
quickly, give
very
us.
much still alive.
Fan service is alive.
there was a pause
However, the reason there was a pause is I was like, I'm finna use Dead or Alive as an example.
Yeah, you know,
Because,
the game with an extreme beach volleyball.
They can be covered up and them
Literally
things
the
still
game
gonna be
that
thanging.
invented
Okay?
jiggle physics
Bruh.
is
That's
your
what I'm saying.
representation.
Like, it's still gonna be.
And see, that's why
They can be covered up like a fucking nun,
The only-
and them things gonna bounce. Okay?
The only thing I
Bang,
can say, I can only defend the ninjas. I can't defend any of the other women in Dead or Alive. That's all.
The ones that are meant not to be seen? Okay.
But actually, to be fair, the female ninjas or kunoichi, if they were seen, it was easier for them to hide it in public, and they did use seduction as one of their main ways to get information.
Come on,
You
history.
know, if you back
Come
that
on,
way
history.
faster, you gonna moonwalk right through that wall.
Come on, history.
I didn't be careful. It's the same wall.
Yeah, the dent is there.
Wait, really?
The dent is there
Oh,
behind you. It's
yeah.
on the
What?
other side.
Over here.
That's Michael's dent.
Oh my God!
For those who can't
From
see,
what?
he jumped up one time. He got excited when
Why
we
did
playing
you
a game.
jump in here?
He was sleep. He was sitting down, right, just about where he's sitting down here, and he jumped up and
This?
dented. Yes, that's Mike's dent. And then he almost knocked M Trill's Xbox 360 down, and it got less funny for M Trill.
Oh, oh my God! I didn't think that was still there, but Dead
That happened.
Okay.
or Alive is that's probably not. That's an example of damn. I forgot.
Representation. He talking about representation of titties. That's why you
Actually-
lost your track.
Actually, to be fair, I prefer Ayane's
Representation.
ass more than her titties.
Representation.
I'm a booty warrior.
Is that the title? No.
Booty
No,
is life.
that does not mean what you think it
The booty
means.
Yeah, I like girls.
Hey,
I like booty girls.
Be
Saying
careful.
booty warrior does not
No,
mean
booty,
you like
he's right.
girls.
Booty is water.
Denda.
Booty is like.
be careful because he's out now. He's out of jail.
Oh yeah, he was actually released. Then he went back. Then he got released again. Yeah, I looked at. He went back for robbery and he got sent back and released again. They don't know where he at.
The Booty Warrior.
From Boondocks.
Yeah.
You know he's real. That's a real person.
Everybody in Boondocks was based on the real, like the what do you say? Can a nigga borrow a pencil?
Yeah.
Like that
teacher
was a real thing that happened.
Milton was real too.
Milton is real? Correct. Look it up, man.
Honestly, everything on the Boondocks was real.
You see
R.
how crazy it
Kelly,
is?
Usher, all of that. Real. All of that has happened.
I know Usher.
Art imitating life is
Boondocks.
The chair, oh my God, the chair.
You know, if there's
it's back.
If
Speaking of representation, I mean, there's one right there.
Yeah,
Boondocks.
There's one we're gonna close on it. The Boondocks. That
Give
right
Regina
there,
King her things.
That hit black culture.
Yes.
I like that. It was black culture.
Thank you, Regina.
Period. A nigga moment was the realest thing I ever saw.
Look,
bro.
The MLK episode is still one of my favorites.
Yes. All you niggas, please.
I'm going to Canada.
Shut the hell up.
Please shut the hell up.
I was like, yes.
Because since I was in middle school, I've been saying that's what Martin Luther King would come back and say. That would be his emotional response.
Like,
now, he might calm down after that. But he would be like, bruh.
Going back and looking at the Boondocks, I'm like, I can't say. If there are two shows, I would tell somebody to watch. Like, and then technically Boondocks isn't an anime, but if they were coming to the world of anime, I'd be like, watch Fooly Cooly and the Boondocks first. Watch that. Why?
People can't handle that now.
Bruh.
I promise they can.
That is, Fooly Cooly is a rite of passage. You need to watch the weird shit first.
Man,
watch the
Fooly
Boondocks. The Boondocks, at the very least, if you watch the Boondocks, everything that's going to happen to you in the anime community is going to make a lot of sense.
What's crazy is Boondocks keeps predicting things, so I'm expecting a chicken. Didn't a chicken thing already happen?
What?
A chicken virus type thing happened
before the chicken sandwich
or after the maybe that's what it was.
That's what I'm thinking.
I will never forgive black people for what they did. Like
chicken.
It was never that serious.
Lost their shit over it.
Yep.
Yes.
Bro, you gotta get that sandwich, bro.
Folks lost their shit over their giant. They
I don't understand.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a fire ass chicken sandwich.
I embarrassed myself over that chicken sandwich once.
I didn't either.
My first one, I got one right out the gate before the craziness happened. I was coming back from work. I ate it. I was like, this good ass chicken sandwich. Literally 2 days later, everybody's losing their fucking mind over this thing.
Over a goddamn chicken
for like
sandwich.
8 months.
People
It was nuts.
People were fighting over this, and I'm like,
the brands were fighting over it. Like,
and it was somebody questioned me. It's like, bro, you in line for the chicken sandwich? I just want some tenders, man.
I mean, when you go there, it'd be like, hello, welcome to Popeyes, and we are out of the chicken sandwich. Like, that was part of the thing.
You got a welcome from Popeyes? Because usually they just stand there and look at me like,
maybe that's when they implemented the welcome, and that was part of the welcome. That was the purpose of the welcome, to tell people in there.
Everything in the Boondocks, to me, that happened. I'm like, I saw this in reality at some point. Especially
the Boondocks is the Black Simpsons.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because all of that shit has come to pass.
What I really, really liked about it? It's the fact, I think it was I forgot what Eastern studio did it. It looks so much like anime that anime fans was watching it. And I'm like, whoever thought this was...
it's gorgeous.
Yes, it is a very...
Because Aaron Magruder was like, I like anime.
Well, hell, dude, I mean, if you can go back, and I think there's multiple split screen deals on the internet where it's literally like move for move some of the fight scenes.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Boondocks are straight out of Shonen. Straight out.
Legit.
When
you rotoscoped it.
To this day, Huey and Riley's fight, that giant, I was tripping because I'm like...
Oh, they was thrown.
I didn't... Me and my siblings, we didn't fight like that, but I'm telling you right now, I was Huey.
Bushido Brown.
We was trying to do Kung Fu. That just started the WWE after a while, man. And Bushido Brown was upset.
Man, you
Question.
come right out of a comic book.
So, something that Fox said earlier kind of resonated with me. When we were talking about Mulan, you said that watching the movie as a kid, even as a boy, you related to Mulan, you thought that was cool. To me, that's the goal of representation.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's not just so that I can see someone who looks like me. I want characters that aren't just typical straight cis het white guys to be the focus, and that's a normal thing.
Right.
And everybody can just, okay, this character doesn't look like me, but I can vibe with this story. With Boondocks, I wonder, so what would you do if you showed it to a non-black person and they're like, I don't know, like Uncle Ruckus was their favorite character.
Jesus
and that's
You got some family members like Uncle Ruckus I need to know about?
I have conflicted feelings about Boondocks. Like I like the there's such a wide variety of characters, and I guess
what your
it's
laundry look like on bed sheet. Just saying.
right. And I guess this goes back to like being able to show different facets, different types of people.
The Boondocks is more in line for the point that you brought up earlier, Biddy, about the Proud family. The Boondocks unapologetically showed damn near every side. At least
because Tom
with the Proud
and
family,
Uncle
they tried
Ruckus
to keep it in line a bit, and they showed us they did a good job of showing us like the different facets of of black people, period, and how people are. The Boondocks just ripped the Band-Aid off and said, "Yo, this is it, but we're gonna over-exaggerate a lot."
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
I mean, some of it.
It was.
I would say over-exaggerated because there are people.
The first time I ever heard
Fairly
the phrase,
white
"What the
skin."
fuck y'all looking at?" was on the Boondocks.
Really?
I ain't even gonna bleep that one out.
The fact that Charlie Murphy played a white, rich, generational wealth type
Yeah,
of-
that was funny.
a pimp named Slickback.
That will. You gotta say the whole name. It's a pimp name.
A pimp named Slickback. That whole episode where they was like, does she run fast in high heels? Shit.
Granddad, that's a hoe.
I remember I didn't understand the connotation.
Crystal, like the champagne.
I remember in middle school somebody was talking about like being able to run fast in high heels, and I was like, I can run fast in heels.
Cause you don't think anything of it.
I
You didn't get
doubled
the
down
adult.
on it. Watch me my wedges from 2003.
Okay,
I was
buddy,
like,
buddy.
It went over my head. I did.
A lot of stuff do till you get older, and you're like, oh.
There was stuff I didn't know about, and I watched the Boondocks.
I need to rewatch Boondocks.
Like Nigga Moment.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know about that, but everything he described, I'm like, oh, so it's called a Nigga Moment.
See, I've witnessed so many of those in middle school that I was like, oh, I know exactly. He stepped on his shoes. Oh,
folks would go,
rap.
and that's the thing, bro. Growing up, I used to think it was so stupid when folks would lose their mind over. That's why I never just bought like a plain pair of white shoes. I bought every other color because if somebody stepped on it, it would show up. There's a difference if somebody just step on your stuff to be rude or they do it by accident. If they do it by accident, folks ready to jack. I was like, bro. Now, how they missed every shot with their guns, I don't understand. They pulled out the guns close range and were shooting at each other. Yeah. And they both missed every shot.
It's that handling. You
and
turn it
like,
sideways.
Everybody else in the vicinity is dead. It is, oh my goodness gracious.
Did y'all see the off topic, but I guess can go into representation. Did y'all see The Blackening? That movie was fucking funny.
It was funny?
That movie was hilarious. And I thought about it because you said something about the guns, and the guy, one of them pulled out the gun and was like this, and somebody was like, and he turned it straight. It was so fucking funny. Y'all should go see it.
My barber was telling me about it, and she said that like the first few minutes of the movie, they just say the word nigga so much.
They do.
That they eventually stop. And she firmly believes the director's like, I'm going to make people hate this word because I'm tired of it.
Or get desensitized.
I like.
It was funny though.
When I think,
is it still in theaters?
Yes,
I don't think so.
I'm looking that shit up right now.
Please.
I'm looking at it.
It was
actually this weekend. I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah, I need to see
it's
that.
coming weekend.
If it's there.
Because I saw I saw the second trailer that was more comedy heavy, and I was like, oh.
I didn't see any
I didn't know it
trailers.
was a comedy because from what the picture I saw, I was like, damn, this must be a
It's basically like Scary Movie, but all black.
Oh, so it is a scary movie.
I mean.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining me.
Wait. I have one thing to say, then you can close it out. I'm sorry. I was holding it till the end. Don't make that face. Stop that. I was going to piggyback off of what Biddy said about representation, where I think when we were children, we weren't looking at it as, I want somebody that looks like me up there as children, because Mulan and Ariel, The Little Mermaid, hands down, were my favorite Disney movies. If we not count Lion King, but I'm not looking at the lions being like, that's me. But
except Mufasa.
I think, like she said, the goal of representation is to see something that inspires you or something that you like, not necessarily something that looks like you. And there's nothing wrong with wanting something that looks like you too.
Right.
That's all I had to say.
No, I think piggybacking off that as well, that's very important. Like me growing up, like one of my role models growing up was Will Smith on Fresh Prince. Like that was like, oh, that's what I want to be when I grow up. Like that's that confidence, but you can still be like tough but you get girls too and like all that. Like that was who I kind of the people I gravitated towards. But at the same time, I mean, we're now getting into this era that we are getting like the oh god, what was that name of that movie? It was all Asian cast.
Crazy. I was gonna
Thank
say,
you.
yeah.
I couldn't remember the name. We are getting into movies like that are culturally like centric like that. But then we also have things where anybody could have been put into it, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. That didn't have to be an all Asian cast in there. Could have been anybody, but it worked. So it's nice to see that we've gotten to that point a little bit, but it's nowhere near the point where I think it's certainly even. Like at all.
Yeah, not by a long shot.
That's actually a really good point. Like y'all will help me evolve my thoughts on this. Like as we're having this conversation. So yeah, the thing is you want these role models of different variety. Like I want to see myself up there to a degree, but I also want the characters that are aspirational to be like different types of people. Like that's really cool to hear what Genji said about looking up to Will Smith as a role model. That's what you want, like different types of people being normalized and being aspirational to like cultural exchange.
All right. About time to start wrapping this up. So before we go, is there any shout outs to anything you thought was shows good representation over the years? Aizawa.
Honorable mention: The Prince of Egypt.
Oh, yeah. I can't argue with Prince of Egypt. Right there.
I don't know about over the years, but there's definitely one that we were talking about comics earlier that sparked in my head. There's a comic called Black Sands. That is. See, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Did you just release what just happened? Do that next to me.
with the spirits.
Black Sands should have come out. That was literally African Dragon Ball, man.
Yes. Oh
And
my God.
they keep teasing because I've seen people make like animations for it.
Yes.
But it hasn't been animated. I'm like, when? I don't hear anyone talk about Black Sands. Yeah,
I see him at cons and stuff.
Yeah, I see him at cons too. I remember reading one of the books at con. I bought one, and I'm like, is nobody reading Black Sands? Yo.
Really?
Yeah, we got it. Yo.
The creators are pretty cool too. They're cool
Yes.
peoples.
Told y'all I live under a rock. I just came out.
Oh man,
Well, thank you for coming out.
You are ready. All right, Biddy, speaking of which, any honorable mentions?
I do. So first, I want to give a shout out to Susie and the Carmichaels. I didn't get to say that because we were
Factual.
Yes. Even as a little kid watching the Rugrats in single digits before representation was even a word in my vocabulary, I was really proud to see the Carmichael family and see that they were the most together folks on the block.
Right.
I was proud of them. I didn't have the words for it, but I was like, yes, tiny little fist in the air. But movie wise, so something recent, and this is what I was alluding to in the intro. I really like the representation in Turning Red.
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah, that movie. The movie is very like the main cast is mostly Asian. There's East Asian, South Asian character in there. There's some subtle queer representation, just casual part of the movie, not a big deal. It's just it happens. In the first 10 minutes of the movie, I also saw some differently able people. There was a kid in the classroom that had, I think they had like a diabetes test monitor on the back of their arm. Just casually showing that kind of stuff. The whole controversy about the main character starting to menstruate, or they thought she was, and so they touch on that a little bit. There's a scene about that, and that also, I think that also counts as representation, because that's something that is historically like hidden away, shamed.
For real, because when you watch like zombie stuff, ain't nobody talking about if this apocalypse happens right now, how we gonna have to figure this period shit out. Except for Last of Us. They did touch on it in Last of Us.
So yeah, I just really I feel like Turning Red is an example of that evolved representation that I was talking about and kind of looking for, where it's not in your face, it's not a huge plot point, it's just there, it's comfortable, and it's a little nod to the people, to people, you know.
Okay, Fox.
Yeah. Let me pick from this list of people that I made. I didn't bring up. Let me see here. So first, I'm gonna say honorary mention to Penny from Expected Gadget, because even though she is a white character, she's played by Cree Summer, who also played Susie Carmichael. So I'm
And all of our childhood favorites,
all over
voices everywhere.
I'm gonna include her as a notable, little honorable.
Oh yeah, Cree Summer getting them
black
checks.
person.
I was not about some
And she, I mean, she, and the funny thing is, Penny's the one solving everything, even though Inspector Gadget just kind of messed everything. But Dutch from Black Lagoon.
Yes.
That's my guy. I don't know if y'all watch Black Lagoon.
I tried.
Black Lagoon
He's a huge,
fucking good representation.
and he is the type of he was kind of inspiring to me, especially as like a late teen, because he would always be like, "Fuck, what's going on? What's the next move? We got to do that. All right." And then in the meantime, he's like, "I got my friends over here. You know, everything's going swimmingly, but if anything messes up, he's on top of it." Love Dutch and Father Poochie from JoJo Part 2.
JoJo, yeah.
So them two, yeah.
All right. If I had to say some honorable mentions myself, I'm gonna just hand it. Yo, I want all the girls of the Tales of video games, all those women, all those men, all those characters. Give yourselves a pat on the back. That's good representation right there. They come in many forms, species, the worst, but they work together. They got each other's backs. If they had beefs with each other, they let it be known. They either fought it out, fuck them boss battle. But I loved how each one of these characters were usually folks who would never meet, and they'd end up working together. They somehow got to understand one another. Actually, you know what? The biggest shout out, Tales of Vesperia. That whole cast is a group of people that you'd never think would work together. At the start of the game, Yuri and Estelle. Estelle literally tells Yuri, "Don't peek in this room. I gotta go change." Yuri peeks in the room. She comes out with a sword. I was like, bang, already. I like that shit. I like that. You didn't have to like kick him through a wall. Didn't have to yell or nothing. She was like, "Nah, I done told you." It's, yo. Tear from Abyss. I can keep going. Rain from Symphonia. All of them. Hell, there's really a cast. Berseria. I'm gonna go with it. Tales of Berseria. That, according to that one, it's supposed to be the first time they ever had a female lead main character. And you want to know what was funny about that one?
What's that?
Emotional rage monster. But you,
Damn it.
I knew somebody was gonna say it.
yeah, but you want to know the best part about it? You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, you would.
It's supposed to be it's called Tales of Berseria because it's supposed to be Tales of Berserker.
She was angry as hell, bro.
She was angry.
She was unhinged.
But there were so many moments where she was just like her old self. Like, she was edgy and upset, but she would lock herself in her hotel room and they came and checked. She's in there cleaning shit, just being how she used to be. When she was a normal girl before, you know, they murdered her brother in front of her and trapped her and turned her into a demon for like 2 years. But
right, spoilers.
He just snuck that right on in there.
Technically, they explain all that in like the first hour of the game.
Okay, well,
that ain't a spoiler.
Still,
That's
like,
the intro.
Bro, that is literally the first 5 minutes.
That game is literally Heartbreak the game.
Oh, wow.
That game is
You literally keep coming back. It's also Fetch Quest the game. You keep coming back.
Oh,
to
well,
the
I'm
same
not playing
damn
that
place.
then.
Yep.
Had enough of that.
Fetch Quest the game, but the Tales of games to me have had some great forms of representation, and I introduce people to them
I agree.
all the time. Because just for men and women, there's somebody there. I dare somebody to tell me, what about people of color? What weapon you want them to have? Because the people of color got the best freaking mystic arts, from destroying the planet to the universe. So yes. Just that.
If we gonna end on anime, I got another honorable mention. Not for one individual thing, but for a director in general. Watanabe.
Yes.
Like literally almost every single thing he's touched. Cowboy Bebop,
Michiko and Hachi.
Michiko and Hachi, Carolyn Tuesday.
I had
Carolyn
no idea
Tuesday.
he was Michiko and Hachi. He
Yeah,
was? Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
And Carolyn Tuesday, man. It's crazy.
Yep. I mean that shit. He's just. Yeah, I could go on. But
Yeah,
there's.
okay, I got one more. You know I gotta plug it.
I got one more after that.
Well, I want to be last, so you
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
Oh my god.
Hey, Afro! Afro Samurai has not been brought up in this whole time.
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Actually,
Are you brought
I
up?
would say
I did
you
not
said
hear you.
Afro Samurai earlier.
So-
in the same breath of
You know what?
Josuke.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Absolutely.
Cannon Busters.
Yeah, I think he's-
Okay, you know I gotta do my usual One Piece. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
One Piece.
One Piece.
Yeah. I
Aokiji.
can't.
Mr. 5. Man.
I can't deny One Piece.
Come on.
I will
Like
not.
it's everything.
All right. Well, I
They
would
need
like
to pay
to
me.
thank Exo Aizawa again for another great podcast. Foxerocious, Biddy, and Genji. Thank you all for joining
Thank you
us.
for coming.
Can I do the call to action?
Sure.
I have a custom one. I made a custom one for you.
I thought you said cussing word. You made a cussing
Shafukton. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for coming out. It's been your frenetically eclectic, ferocious fox, foxerocious, the Zero G anti-hero, the third of 3. Subscribe to Dendalion TV and like the damn video. Please.
Booty.